Hey, good morning, good day, good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're all safe and well and happy. This video is about 9 months in the making for me. I've not really known how to address it, but I'm just going to put out the kind of bare facts here in this video. So if you're here watching this right now, thank you so much. And what I want to talk about today is religion, but specifically my reversion to Islam. Now, I was brought up in a Protestant, a Baptist, Christian household with a mother who was a microbiologist. And even as a young child, 4 or 5 years old, I remember asking my mother, "Mum, if you're a scientist, do you believe in the Big Bang? How can you believe in God? If you know about the Big Bang, how can you believe in God?" I didn't understand, and she said to me at that age, "Well, son, you've just got to separate your science from the belief." So immediately I had question marks in my head about Christianity. And also something that didn't sit well with me was worshipping a man, worshipping Jesus, the Son of God, like he's an extension of God. But how can a man be God? Anyway, these were thoughts for me as a very young child. So I didn't like going to church, I didn't like going to Sunday school, and my big brother, who was 10 years older, big sister, who was 8 years older, they didn't have to go because they were old enough to make the decision. And my mum said, when you're old enough, you can make the decision to not go. And I did. And then my life kind of looked like going from being brought up as a Christian to then being kind of agnostic, to then going towards atheism. Atheism leads to nihilism, like life is pointless. Nihilism, for me, life is pointless, led me down a dark road of I've never been a Satanist, but it led me down the road of the dark powers. And what happens is, when you start going down that road, the only other place is depression. And then after depression, you've got suicide, or unaliving, excuse me, sorry YouTube. And what happens is you sink down that path, spiritually devoid, spiritually inept, nothing there. Well, what happens when you go all the way down? There's two ways. Either you go fully down, and you know what that means, or you look to the light and you climb the fuck back up. Now, I left Scotland 3 years ago, and I was in Turkey for 7 months before coming to Thailand. The area of Thailand I live in, the island I live on, is 85% Muslim. This whole kind of south end of Thailand is majoritively speaking. I then went and trained in Phuket at a Russian gym called the Branya with all my Dagestani brothers, Chechens, Russians. Round these types of people, round influenced. I see the culture in Turkey. I wake up, I hear the mosque, I hear the prayer 5 times a day. Come to Thailand, same thing. The friends that I meet and make are Muslim, beautiful, beautiful people. I then left Thailand, went to Bali, met my brother Muhammad, who, like this, instantly. His spiritual connection so high. Anyway, I just go into things with an open mind and open eyes, and the way I believe that you should live life is that you can learn from any man. So that's the way I've gone about my experiences in the East, being in Turkey, coming to Thailand, going to Bali, Indonesia, the biggest Muslim country in the world. I then went to Australia, and then I came back to Thailand in January of last year. And when I came back to Thailand this time last year, I was broken. I was really spiritually broken. I had nothing. I arrived here with my passport, no wallet, no money, no phone, nowhere to stay. Just the fact that people knew me here from 2 years ago, they were willing to put me up. MashaAllah. So let's get into the really kind of finer points now of how did this happen? How did I find Islam? And honestly, it wasn't down to me. On the 27th of April, I met the woman who will be my wife. She's not Muslim, but she is the most spiritually in tune, highest, elevated spirit, woman, energy that I've ever met, and that is my life partner and twin flame. And what happened when I met her, the day I met her, the days leading up to meeting her, I fasted for 4 days, only water. I would wake at 3:30 a.m. and I would pray, meditate. This time is meant to be like harmonious in the night, the stillness, for your connection to source. I would then go and watch the sun rise. I would make sure that I went and I watched the sun set. So my circadian rhythm and my body clock was so finely in tune. And then last but not least, I was practicing the Wim Hof breathing technique. If you're not sure, go Wim Hof method. You will know him. But anyway, the point is this. These things that I did put my body in this perfect place of stillness, openness, awareness, alignment. And I then met with my lady. This was our first date. And the energy, the vibration, the resonance of us two souls being reunited, clicking in this life, and vibrating higher than you could ever imagine, stronger than you could ever imagine, is what brought the Almighty into my life, alhamdulillah. I felt His presence. I was pulled to my knees, my head pulled to the floor. The only thought in my head, what direction is Mecca? What direction is Mecca? And I'm thinking, why am I thinking this? What's going on? What's going on? What is this feeling of love and energy and strength? And I don't know what to do, so I run out of my bedroom looking to find my one very good Muslim friend, Nut. And I go out and I'm hoping to find him. I'm hoping that I can find his sister, ask where he is, and I'm hoping to speak to him. And I go out and I'm running. I run this direction and there he is, and I scream, no, no! And I run right into his arms. What direction is Mecca? What direction do Muslims pray? And it's in the direction that I ran right into his arms, like he was there open, waiting for me with open arms. Alhamdulillah, 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 ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Like it was meant to happen. I ran into Nut's arms and I broke down. Tears, just uncontrollable, emotional, overwhelming love. So much power, so much belief, so much energy, and you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it, and I just knew. I knew. This was Almighty. I knew, mashallah, and it's saved my life. Saved my life. Because now I fear none but Allah. I fear none but the one true God. I have love in my heart. Real true love for the first time. It's overwhelming. But it's given me so much strength, so much power and so much hope. That's what this has given me. This is what Islam gives me. Islam means submission. And for my whole life, I fought against everyone, anything that I could fight against, I fought against, especially myself. But for now to be shown the straight path, to be shown this, to be told, to be given this blueprint of how to live. How can you not be a good person if you're so selfless that you wash and pray 5 times a day to something bigger than yourself? I think the reason there's so much evil in the world is because people don't have hope, because people have lost sight of God, of a divine creator. And I want to sum this up by saying, I don't give a shit what religion you are. I've never given a shit about religion. But my one piece of advice would be, if you're sick and tired and need a change, if you're sick of your life, if you feel all hope is gone and all hope is lost, turn towards something bigger than yourself. For years I never believed in God, but I told myself I believed in some level of spirituality. How can you not? There's so many waves and vibrations and sounds and sights that we can't see, can't hear, but there's stuff that we can feel and experience that's undeniable. And my best piece of advice, in order to escape feeling like you have no freedom, you must look to something bigger than yourself. And for me, this was finding God, finding Islam. Now, this is very difficult for me also because I come from a white Scottish Christian family. Okay, my brother and father both served in the British Army, in the infantry, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Jordan, in Bosnia, all these places, no less. And I have not had the conversation with my father or brother about this. You know, there's so much fucked up stuff going on in the world. And what's really not YouTube safe to say. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry for having my boobs out, but it's hot. It is very, very hot. Rappo Furley, please forgive me. Guys, all the best.